Patrick McNeil joined now at the intermission by Cape Breton Eagles overage forward Samuel Johnson as we head into this two-game weekend set. Samuel, what are your thoughts on the season for yourself and your team so far?
Well, I think for the team, we had a bit of a tough start, but we're doing better now. I think we need to be more consistent in executing the game plan and keep going that way.
You come to Cape Breton after being in Rouyn-Noranda for 3 years, literally the opposite end of the league. What was your reaction when you found out you were getting traded to the Eagles?
I was pretty excited to come to Cape. Playing at 20 is a privilege, I think. Just being able to play in the league at 20, I was pretty excited. And it's a bit closer to my hometown than Rouyn. It's at 8 hours instead of 17, so I was pretty happy.
Very good. Has your family taken advantage of that yet this year?
Yes, for sure. They've never been to Cape yet, but we play in Bathurst more.
Yeah, you couldn't have gone further away from them either side. Recently, we talked to William Shields, who was obviously 16, and he's played with you a little bit. From your perspective, how much does it benefit him as a 16-year-old to play with 20-year-olds?
I think if I think of me when I was a rookie in the league, I think playing with older guys helped me a lot. I could look up to them and ask them questions if I had to.
You're wearing an A on this team, obviously. How much does that responsibility mean to you?
I think it's a big responsibility when you have a leader, especially. You have to make sure that you're a good leader and that you're always working hard.
You're this team's leading scorer. The points haven't been coming as much lately. Do you approach the game differently when you're in a slump, or do you just more focus on the process than the end result?
I think keeping things more simple is helping a lot, but I'm not focusing on points, honestly. I'm trying to be a good example for the young guys, and I think that's the most important.
Yeah, you can't always judge a guy's game by that, for sure. Now, you mentioned being from the Gaspé area. I think that's the region we would call it.
Yeah.
Did you have to travel to play hockey growing up? You probably didn't have a lot of elite teams close by.
Yeah, so I had to leave my home at 13 to play in Rivière-du-Loup, which is 4 hours, I think. Yeah, 4 hours away. I played Bantam and Midget, and then I moved to Rouyn after that.
So you were billeting when you played for those teams?
Yeah.
He didn't have to wait till he was in the queue to billet. You were drafted going into your 17-year-old year, so you're passed up the first time. And I always like to see the guys that make the most of second chances. What was your philosophy going back, and were you trying to prove the doubters wrong, I guess you could say?
Yeah, for sure. I had a little bit more, not energy when I didn't get drafted my first year, but I was just trying to have fun my second year, and I was saying to myself, what's going to happen, not really focusing on the draft.
Perhaps your best game in the Q came in Center 200 with Rouyn-Noranda, 5 assists. What do you remember about that game?
Well, it doesn't happen very often. I don't know if it's going to happen again, but it's always fun to put up points.
Did that come to your mind when you first got to Center 200? Yeah, this place looks familiar.
Yeah, because it was the second time I was playing in the Center 200. I didn't play there a lot.
You come over with Jordan Cote. How much do you think that helps to have another guy from your team come to your new team? Especially there's so many new players in Cape Breton this year.
Yeah, for sure it helped, but I know a couple guys too, like Hébert, Boutin, I knew them. It's always fun to have a couple guys that you know when you're in a new team.
Do you think the chemistry has come together pretty well considering all that?
Yeah, for sure it helped, but I think the chemistry is only going to get better every day.
Obviously, you're getting more time to spend with each other. Now, if somebody hadn't seen you play before, how would you describe Samuel Johnson as a player?
I think I'm an offensive forward that likes to create things offensively with the puck, and with my vision offensively, I like to distribute the puck a lot.
Last one I'll ask you, you're in your 20-year-old year. I know you're enjoying the season right now in Cape Breton, but do you think about what comes next? Do you know it's your last year in the Cape?
Honestly, not a lot. I'm focusing on the moment here in my last year. What's going to happen,
It's a great perspective to have. Well, fans are enjoying watching you play so far. Best of luck, Samuel. Thanks for this.
Thank you.
That's Samuel Johnson joining us at the intermission. You're listening to Cape Breton Credit Eagles Hockey, 1270 CJCB.